Hey, y'all. Today, this is gonna be a real chill episode. I'm out, but I'm being consistent. I am in one of the most interesting seasons in my life, so we're just gonna get into it. And this is gonna be like a conversation. And yes, I'm outside, and that's the vibe. But I really want to talk to y'all because I am still in the process of doing research. Your girl is still learning, always ever learning. But more importantly, I'm going to talk to you guys today about quantum computing. And it's so funny because maybe it's kind of poetic how I just stated, I literally don't feel like doing anything, but I'm still giving this podcast because consistency, hello. But quantum computing is literally about particles that show up, disappear, and somehow exist in multiple places at once. Like me trying to balance my life and mental health right now. Um, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about quantum computing, or at least, like I said, what I've learned. I'm still learning. And what I've been researching and learning about, is so much to unpack, but I also feel like there are so many dots that I have been connecting for me in regards to quantum computing and AI and this whole chip business. But not gonna lie, when I started researching this, I felt like I was reading a math equation in another dimension. Because, honey. So first things first. I kept seeing this word quantum, and I was like, is that what is that? It's a crypto coin, a new line of Tesla chips? What is this quantum computing? But apparently, quantum computing is the next level type of computer that doesn't think in ones and zeros, but instead it thinks in both at the same time, which sounds kind of impossible, but stay with me because it's all going to make sense. So traditional computers use bits or one or zero. Quantum computers use qubits, which can be one, zero, or both. Hence the quantum. If you know about the metaphysical, we'll get into it. So instead of processing one thing at a time, they can process everything at once. It's like your laptop is running errands one by one, but a quantum computer is like your multitasking bestie who finishes all five of the tasks that you need done before you finish your call. Yeah. So basically, it's chaos, but organized chaos. Another good analogy that I heard about quantum computing is that, your classic computer is what is being called crazy, but the classical computer is more like a car trying to get you from one place to another place, whereas quantum computing is more like a submarine. It's still a mode of transportation, but it's just navigating different terrains. So now here's the thing that's tripping me out. Quantum computers don't just store data, they use physics, like actual atoms, to calculate it. And this is how we're kind of tipping into, but I'm not going to get into it in this episode, but we're kind of tipping into the brain chip aspect of things, because I've always kind of wondered, because it just seems so out there to me. To me, it never really connected whenever I would hear Elon Musk talk about his brain chips. And I'm just like, well, how are they going to function? How are they going to work? And I feel like he's kind of talked about quantum something or another. But I wasn't really looking into it. But the more that I'm getting into quantum computing and understanding what that is and why it's actually such a massive deal, which I feel like it's gonna take more than just this episode to unpack this, it's because of the fact that it's using actual particles, like atom particles. So anyway, um, I read that these things can like solve problems in seconds that would take our fastest supercomputers centuries. Like the most complicated passcode you can put in, like you know how like sometimes when you try to set up a passcode, you're given the option to create one like expensive, really expensive long passcode, or that like computer can generate one for you. Like if you've ever unhid it and looked at it, like it looks crazy. A quantum computer can break that. Yeah. So they can break encryption codes, simulate molecules, and potentially help discover new medicines. So here's the kicker. And this is what got my attention because Chirant is building one of the first quantum campuses in America. Now, if my memory serves me right, there is already a company in the Netherlands, if I'm not mistaken, that is working on quantum computing. But I will say this, the Department of Defense is with it. Okay. One of the key players in this. So we're talking, let's get it back to the quantum campuses here in Chicago. We're talking labs, researchers, tech giants, and startups that are all focusing in on quantum computing and quantum internet. Yeah. So it's wild. This is so huge. Like what I've been learning about quantum computing is basically on the same level of, it has the same level of impact that the internet has had in the world. That's how crazy it is. So, but I will say too, I am extremely concerned because, like, if this gets in the hands of someone evil, child, oh my God, what is going to happen to the human race? But it is also like a proud moment that, like, something as massive as quantum computing is like being based and started here in Chicago. It's a very proud moment. I might have to shed a thug tear for science. Okay, so anyway, now halfway through reading an article on superposition and entanglement, my brain was just like, we're definitely gonna have to watch this video again because, huh? Like no thoughts, just like TV static at this moment. And I think I kind of zoned out for like 2 seconds. But superposition basically means that something can exist in multiple states at once. Now, entanglement means two particles can be connected even across space and time, like long distance best friends who just know when something is wrong. So basically, quantum physics is like soul ties on steroids, basically. And here I am thinking that AI is deep, but no. Mm-mm. This is like AI's metaphysical cousin. So here's the part where I stopped spiraling and started like getting into it. So quantum computing isn't meant to replace our laptops. Kind of getting back to my analogy to the submarine aspect, is meant to solve the impossible, like problems too big, too complex, or too fast for us to even model right now. So you have AI, which honestly has been around. If you listen to this podcast, you know it's been around since the 50s, but now they're building all this infrastructure and everything around AI. But then you also have quantum computing, which is like AI's little cousin or whatever, like his close cousin. Um, it's not replacing AI, but it's in tandem with. So, and this is where it got really interesting and it hit me like a metaphor for life, right? Sometimes you can solve things with logic, right? And then sometimes you have to hold two truths at once, like the pain and the purpose, the confusion and the clarity. Literally, the season I'm in my life, like I am literally grieving my old life and everything that was, and relationships that are extremely toxic. But then I'm also excited for my future, and it's crazy. But anyway, maybe quantum isn't just a new kind of computing, maybe it's a new kind of consciousness. One that forces us to see the world as interconnected, messy, and miraculous all at once. So, yeah, basically, I'm still learning. Like I said, I feel like there's so much to unpack with quantum computing. Um, but they literally just opened the campus and will begin work on that. So I definitely want to follow that very closely since it's the urgent. But I learned enough to know this. It's going to change everything, like AI, healthcare, data privacy, the way we even think about technology. Like this is literally next level. And I'm definitely going to come back to it. I'm definitely going to go deeper. I'm definitely going to get some. We're really going to unpack. For now, I'm showing up, tired, curious, grateful, because sometimes showing up is the most quantum thing you can do. So, as always, it's your girl Shahana, and this is Talk Data to Me. If you learned something, smiled, or at least felt a little less intimidated by the word quantum, go ahead and share quantum in the comments. Make sure you're liking, you're commenting, and subscribing. Thank you for viewing for everybody that does. And feel free to share this episode with somebody who loves tech, but also loves a good chuckle and wants to learn. And maybe, who knows, next time we'll probably get into something wild, maybe AI and relationships, or the Chicago Quantum Campus. You never know, or both. Until then, keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it. That's where the magic happens, truly. Until next time.